A husky voice murmured, "You are next, Shimon." A dark figure moved from behind the adjoining wall of the neighbor's 3-story building. Shimon nearly jumped out of her skin in fright. She could make out the silhouette of a man, about 6 foot 2 inches tall, dark-skinned, covering the distance between next-door neighbor's front garden and ours. "Hi, Bibbs." Shimon froze in shock, dropping her house keys as she began to recognize the figure in the November sunset. "Are you in there?" she quavered, voice shaking. "What you doing here?" Her voice breaking. "Oh, that's a bit telling, honey pie," Irene spat out, now standing years on Shimon's silver Ford Fiesta as she backed into the driver's door. "Stay away from me, you bar freak," Shimon ordered, legs shaking. "You were warned? No contact. That's what the old bill said." Shimon was trying to dig around in a Versace handbag for a car fob. Ayorinde leapt forward in a flash, banging his large hands on the car roof. "In your dreams, woman," he sneered, his eyes in the glare from the street light flashing in anger. "Nobody takes my kids away from me, Shimon, nobody," he warned scarily, eyes narrowing into slits. Shimon lowered her head and nodded, surreptitiously rummaging in her bag for her fob. Just then, she saw a pair of headlights from a vehicle veering towards her house as it came around the bend on Garvin's Road in a Thornton Heath cul-de-sac. Shimon breathed in relief as she watched the navy blue Citroen car turn into the neighbor's driveway. The door on the driver's side flung open, and Jemima, the lady next door, asked in a concerned Afro-Caribbean accent, "Are you okay, my lovely?" Shaking her head vigorously, Shimon bit her lower lip, fighting back tears. Her shiny blue eyes darted towards the figure of Ayorinde, looming like an ogre opposite the passenger side of Shimon's Ford Fiesta. Jemima edged forward towards the low hedge that separated the two semi-detached properties, peering at the half-visible face of the person who had by now turned to look in her direction. "Are you in there?" she exclaimed in fear. "Oh my God, what you doing here?" Jemima began to back away, rubbing her left hand over the pocket of her combat parka, feeling for her iPhone. She felt her bottom hit the bodywork of her Citroen. "Don't even think of it, woman," venomously spat out Ayorinde, as the headlight from the Citroen shone on Jemima's ruminating hand. "Call the police here, and I'll be serious trouble," he threatened. Ayorinde began walking out of Shimon's driveway, approaching the footpath on Galvin's Road, sauntering in his unmistakable gait, hands in either pocket of his dark grey hooded coat. "What is this? Gang up on the block, is it?" he leered, eyes flitting between the two women, as Shimon hastily jumped into the driver's seat of her car, nervously. She somehow managed to push the start arrow on the left side of the panel on her dashboard to start her keyless car, and was reversing out into the driveway when Ayorinde thumped on the bonnet, yelling in deafening decibels, "Stop right there, you bitch!" Shimon slammed the brake pedal hurriedly, rotating her head to focus on Ayorinde through the passenger window, as he calmly reached into his pocket and retrieved a shiny object. Shimon could make out the blade of a Rambo knife. Ayorinde raised his hand in slow motion and held it up in the dim light, the tail light of the Citroen reflecting a red glow on the metal tip. "This is what you'll get in your chest, woman, if you don't let me see my kids." The icy threat was followed by a cynical smirk as Iorinde began walking off down the road, heading towards the bend that led out of the cul-de-sac. Simone lowered her head into her hands, rocking back and forth on the driver's seat as Iorinde's words rang in her ears. She had heard his classic lines before. The first time was when he had her in a chokehold in the rented house in Cafford 3 years ago. Their 7-year-old daughter, Chloe, had stood at the top of the staircase watching, petrified, as her dad was again attacking her mom. Simone had buried those memories in the suitcase she had left behind in the shelter for battered wives in Thornton Heath. But at that moment they were beginning to resurface. Jemima, observing the scene from a driveway, had her mouth open in disbelief, the adrenaline rush in her head making it hard for her to think clearly. She finally pulled out a silver iPhone 13 and pressed digits 3 times. In a shaky voice, she struggles to articulate her words as the operator inquires, "999, what's your emergency?" To be continued.
But I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed when we play our roles and ignore the problems. I like to be away in my patience. Stay up, I feel so outdated. How can we look the other way? Sun is out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow, I think I'll chew it.